to my YouTube channel. This is Tasty Dish. So I wanted to start this YouTube channel mainly because I want to show people the joys of cooking. It almost feels like we're getting away from the home-cooked meals and the fun that you can have around the dinner table. I would think that some of my favorite times as a child was when my entire family was sitting down at the dinner table, discussing their day, having a good time, joking, and just being a fun bunch of people to be around. Not that I'm an adult and I don't like sitting down, but our lives have been crazy. So this gives me a chance to sit down and have a good meal, talk with my husband, and go through pretty much everything that's on our mind. And I think that's a great open communication way to make relationships work in any facet. So I wanted to do kind of, I guess, something fun, something a little off the beaten path. There's so many cooking channels on YouTube. I am a YouTube fanatic, by the way. I'm probably addicted, to be honest. I watch people like Shane Dawson. I know he's not really a cook, so to speak, but he's got some pretty good content. I love watching anything Pioneer Woman on Food Network, even though that's not YouTube. So even though YouTube is kind of a multi-facet situation and they have a ton of channels, everything's always trending. I like to have the YouTube channel, any kind of cooking shows. I do like Hannah Hart on some of the stuff that she does. I think it's kind of cool, unique what she goes through. I also like watching the Food Network a lot, and that's usually on 9 times out of 10 when I'm at home. So I kind of felt that I would be somewhat okay with this. I would be fun because I'm interactive in the kitchen and I really do enjoy cooking for my friends and my family. Pretty much anybody that would eat my food, to be honest with you. I am not classically trained by any means. I literally learned how to cook when my mom was preparing dinner. I was her sous chef, if you will. So I have this, I guess, idea to do this YouTube channel. And I mean, what would any self-respecting 30-something-year-old do today? I know, exploit myself on YouTube. That seems like it's gonna be a lot of fun. What's the worst that's gonna happen? Nobody's gonna watch my videos? Okay. So enough self-loathing. Let's go ahead and get into this. So today I wanna make a pretty easy meal and everything's gonna be delicious, I promise. We're going to do a lemon dill chicken to start off, and we're also going to make a creamy orzo pasta with mushrooms and onions. So stay tuned. Everything is gonna be underneath in the description, all of the recipes, and I hope you guys enjoy. We'll get to it now. All right, so I've already gone ahead and I have sliced chicken to be somewhat of a decent width. You don't want it too thick because you want to be able to pan fry it. I actually have the oil heating up in a 12-inch cast iron pan. I'm using regular vegetable oil. So with the chicken, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to use one hand to coat the chicken because if you use two, both hands get jacked up. So we'll coat the chicken in just regular flour. This is just a regular egg mixture, nothing special in it. The breadcrumbs, I did add dried dill to this so that you can actually have it in the recipe because this is a lemon dill chicken. So coat that evenly, make sure that you get all sides, everything kind of coated as best you can. And this is going to be a really simple, quick, easy, fun dish for you to make for any occasion. It's maybe 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, so I've had the oil preheating from low to medium heat, a little higher to medium actually. So what we're gonna do is we're just going to take the little pieces, the cutlets of chicken that we've already breaded, and we're going to lay this into the pan. Do not overcrowd the pan because you're gonna bring down the temperature of the oil and you're not gonna get an even coat on the chicken when you're frying it. Okay, so now it's been a couple minutes and I'm going to flip over and we're gonna have a really nice brown crispy side on the other side of it. And just be careful when you're flipping because this is hot oil and it can hurt. All right, so these have been cooking for a couple of minutes, usually about 4 to 5 minutes each side, and you should be really good with these. And they're gonna come out really juicy and tender. So we're gonna take these out. I have lined a plate with paper towels to absorb any extra oil. And once we get these all out, I like to drain them a little bit before I take them out. So now we're going to finish the other two that we've got going, and we'll be back in short. All right, so now that the chicken is done, I'm just going to place some tin foil around it to keep it kind of warm while we are getting the orzo ready for dinner. All right, so to start the orzo, I'm gonna go over the ingredients list for you really quick. You're gonna use 1.5 cups of heavy cream. You're gonna use 2 cups of chicken broth, regular chicken broth, no sodium or anything removed. You're going to use 1 cup of dry white wine. Actually, the cheaper the better for this case. You're gonna use 1 stick of butter, a tablespoon of salt. You can use pink salt, kosher salt, whatever you like. I personally like the pink salt because of the minerals. You're gonna use a teaspoon of fresh black pepper. You're gonna use 1 full small container of baby portobello mushrooms. You're gonna use 1 small onion, 1 pound of orzo, and 8 ounces of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. All right, so let's start the orzo. I'm gonna use a full stick of salted butter, and we're gonna put that right into a pan that is preheating at medium heat. With the butter, I like to actually brown it first. Kind of gives it a little bit of a flavor, especially when you're gonna be sauteing any kind of vegetable in this pan. So we're just gonna melt the butter down as quick as possible. As I said, I have a love for the Pioneer Woman, and this is her cooking set. I absolutely love everything she has. She is almost my spirit animal, I guess you could say. So we're just gonna go ahead and continue to melt this down. Turn the heat up just a little bit. I'm just above medium heat. I know this looks like a lot of butter, but we're gonna be sauteing a lot of vegetables, so keep that in mind. And realistically, everything is better when you saute in butter. Don't let it get too hot because it can give it kind of a foul taste. So when it starts to turn brown, which it should here in a couple moments, it will actually give it a little bit of a more, I guess, earthy flavor, if you will. So I'm just moving the butter around so that it can all get kind of even. My house is not very level, so I have to make sure that I kind of keep it moving. You can actually start seeing the color start to darken a bit as well. We're just getting to the color I want. Bump that up a little bit. All right, great. So now we are going to take that onion that we have diced and chopped up, and we're going to put it right into the pan. Make sure you can get as much as you can. And you really want to saute these onions until they're nice and brown. The caramelization off of the onions really gives this dish really good amount of flavor. So once these get translucent, you can add the mushrooms in. And just stir occasionally. Even if you have a non-stick pan, moving the product around in the pan also helps with even distribution of heat. All right, so now we are going to take the lid off and let that sit for a few minutes as it continues to simmer. At this point, I have pretty much reduced the butter and any moisture that came out of the mushrooms, and we will go ahead and add the 1 cup of dry white wine. You're gonna add this and you're gonna let it bubble off. So you can actually put this to medium to high heat and let the alcohol really come out of the wine. You don't want the alcohol flavor, you want the wine flavor. So we're gonna go ahead and stir that in and leave this uncovered so you can let the alcohol come out of the dish. And then just repeat it to boil. I would give this about 5 minutes as well. So now that the alcohol is fully cooked out of the wine, we are going to go ahead and add the rest of our ingredients to the pie. So we're going to start with the 2 cups of the chicken broth, and we'll go ahead and add that right in. We are going to add the 1.5 cups of chilled heavy cream. And the 8 ounces of Parmesan cheese. And then we're going to go ahead and stir that for a little bit so that we can get everything incorporated. The chunks of Parmesan, the cream, as well as the chicken broth. I suggest doing this recipe in a non-stick pan because the cheese is actually going to melt down and it will stick to the bottom of your pan if you are not careful. Now I'm back down to medium heat. We're just stirring to incorporate. You can kind of see the butter rising to the top of the mixture as it's mixing everything. All right, so you can see how beautiful the onions look in this, the butter, you've got everything pretty much incorporated at this point, and you are now going to add orzo. Now, for those of you who don't know, orzo is actually a pasta. It looks like a rice, but it's actually, as I said, a pasta. So we're gonna go ahead and stir this into the mix, and it's going to pretty much be 10 to 12 minutes or until it is pasta ready, or al dente as some of you would call. I would absolutely suggest tasting this dish before you add any salt and pepper to it. Even though you add the Parmesan cheese, which tends to be a pretty nutty, salty cheese, you're definitely going to want to add a little bit more salt to taste on how you want to do. I would say no more than a tablespoon, or else you're going to kind of get nothing but salt through this. And you're going to lose a lot of the flavor that we've already added to the dish. So I'm going to go ahead and add just a little right now. I'm going to let that sit in, and then I'm going to do a taste of just the sauce because obviously the orzo's not ready yet. So we're going to go ahead and grab a spoon. As of right now, it's pretty decent. I'm going to continue to see how it goes throughout, but as of right now, with the salt that I've already added and the cheese, it seems to be good to go. So as I'm pulling this up from the sides, you can actually see that the Parmesan cheese is kind of getting stuck on the bottom and kind of getting that really crisp look. Oh, it's going to make the dish so much better. Okay, so everything that is incorporated into the orzo has now been pretty much absorbed by it. We're gonna go ahead and add the fresh pepper and then just stir that in and you're done. You're ready to plate. So let's give that a few minutes to incorporate first. And the fresh pepper really does add a little bit more of a, it's not really a kick. I know I've used earthy a lot, but it really does add an extra layer of earthiness to this side dish. You can also use this as a regular meal. We did it last night. So you can have side dishes, main dishes, and this does freeze pretty well, so you can make this in advance. All right, let's go ahead and turn it off heat. So the final step to everything is we're just going to cut the lemon. However you want to do it. I like wedges because I think the wedge gives you more lemon juice, and I personally like lemon on my lemon dill chicken. So we're gonna put that to the side. And let's go ahead and plate the orzo, which is already done. Let's go ahead and take a piece of chicken, bring it over, take a nice slice of lemon, drizzle that on top, and let's see how this tastes. It's so good. So the lemon and the dill really work well together. The crispiness off of the breading is really good too. It's perfect almost. Let's go ahead and try a little bit of the orzo. You've got the nutty flavor from the Parmesan cheese. The mushroom gives it a really nice kind of like meaty texture. The onion is really good, gives it that sweet kick. So salty, sweet, savory. This dish has it all. So now that I have cooked this meal, you can see how easy it is. So if you liked my video, please comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell so that you can get alerted when I post new videos. As of right now, it's probably gonna be about once a week, but I really wanna show you guys what I have to offer as far as cooking. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time on Tasty Dish.